Tonight on The Cycle, Chicago police officers charged with covering up a shooting. CNN reporters lose their jobs over a bad story, and the corruption report that FIFA didn't want you to see comes out. All that and more coming to you live right now. Yo, welcome to The Cycle. I'm Jacques Slade.
And I'm Aaliyah Jasmine. Let's go through today's biggest headlines in case you missed it.
Senate Republicans will delay the vote on their health care bill for at least another week.
Yeah, there's fears that the bill may be dead on arrival, especially after yesterday's CBO score. And that's why President Trump invited all Senate Republicans to the White House this afternoon for a rousing last-minute rally in favor of this administration's defining piece of legislation.
Yes, Trump was quoted as saying he won't like it if the bill fails, but that's okay. Riveting stuff, Donald, riveting.
Next up, the White House says that they suspect Syrian President Bashar al-Assad may be planning another chemical weapons attack.
They announced that the Russia-supported Assad regime would pay a heavy price for conducting another mass killing like the sarin gas attack that claimed 89 lives in April.
Okay, moving on. A new ransomware attack has compromised computers at some big businesses in the U.S. and Europe.
The hackers are demanding a $300 Bitcoin ransom from the targeted companies, which are mostly in Russia and Ukraine.
So, yeah, take that, Russia. How does it feel to be the hackies instead of the hackers for once? Not so great, right?
Yeah, take that, Russia. All right, next story. We know Donald Trump makes a lot of Americans nervous, but it turns out that the rest of the world is, well, even more scared.
Yeah, a new Pew Research poll indicates that a median of 74% of countries do not have confidence in Donald Trump's foreign policy. In fact, confidence has decreased 42 points from the end of the Obama presidency until now.
Although Russia has more confidence in Trump than Obama, which makes sense. We've never heard any rumors of an Obama P-tape.
That we have not. Finally, the European Union fined Google a staggering $2.7 billion.
Yeah, they say Google violates European antitrust laws because their shopping search prioritizes their own price comparison service over competitors.
So basically, they got fined because their search engine actually makes it harder for people to find what they want.
Yeah.
In that case, get your checkbook ready. Bing!
Does anyone use Bing still? I don't know. And that's in case you missed it.
Okay, and now the story's not getting the attention that they deserve. This is Below the Fold.
Pharma bro Martin Shkreli, who got famous for raising the price of HIV drugs by 5,000%, is finding that his negative reputation has preceded him, and he faces fraud charges in court.
His negative reputation is so bad that his last name is actually Shkreli.
Yeah.
But that's okay. You can get it wrong. He deserves it. Shkreli should, of course, have an impartial jury of his peers, but the problem is that everyone already hates him. The court has interviewed more than 200 potential jurors and can't seem to find people who don't already have a strong opinion.
One reportedly called him a snake. Another said he is a very evil man, and yet another called him the face of corporate greed in America, which is just not fair to corporate greed.
I'd say he looks more like the face of douchebaggery everywhere, but to each their own.
You know what, though? I think he should get whatever the minimum sentence is, but just increased by 5,000%.
I also think we should rename him what do you call it?
Shkreli.
Shrek.
I called him Shrek.
Next up, by now you've probably heard about how 3 CNN journalists resigned after what turned out to be an inaccurate report linking a Trump transition team member to Russia.
Well, today at the White House press briefing, Sarah Huckabee Sanders had an interesting message for CNN and its viewers. Take a look.
There are multiple other instances where that outlet that you referenced has been repeatedly wrong and had to point that out or be corrected. There's a video circulating now, whether it's accurate or not. I don't know, but I would encourage everybody in this room and frankly, everybody across the country to take a look at it.
In case you need a second to process that, she's basically saying that CNN's Russia reporting is inaccurate, and as proof, you should watch a video from conservative activist James O'Keefe, a video that she says might be inaccurate.
I like how she can't even refer to CNN by name, only the outlet you just referenced. CNN is like this administration's Voldemort.
And by the way, if the rest of CNN's Russia-Trump reporting was untrue, wouldn't more journalists be resigning? Like, the fact that CNN made 3 people resign immediately over this one story speaks volumes about the accuracy of all the other headlines, right? That's how I see it.
Absolutely. Finally, some red hot tech news. The planet's newest smartphone has been unveiled.
Take a look at the Jindale 3. The smartphone built by North Korea for North Korea, mostly because North Korea doesn't trade with anyone else.
Yeah, Pyongyang, is that saying that right?
Yep.
Pyongyang has recently gotten into producing electronic devices, which their media says are made the North Korean way, which I assume means slave labor? Maybe?
Ooh, I don't. They're not watching this anyways. You might remember last month they released a tablet cleverly named the iPad, original, so it won't surprise you to know that this new phone is pretty much a straight ripoff of Apple and Samsung.
If it's anything like the iPhone, I'm guessing it has a fingerprint scanner that will send your biometric data to the communist regime, plus a digital personal assistant that will help you call the secret police on your traitor neighbors.
Ooh, and if it's modeled after the Galaxy Note, well then I guess North Korea has finally built a successful bomb.
Oh, boom. Can I just go boom, boom,
Yeah,
boom?
boom,
Okay. All right.
boom.
All right, and that's Below the Fold.
Okay, now it's time for a story that for a lot of us was TLDR or too long and didn't read.
This is a first here at The Cycle. We found something that was so long, even we couldn't read the whole thing.
Wow!
Earlier today, FIFA released its 430-page long report on corruption surrounding the 2018 and 2022 World Cup bidding process.
I know what you're thinking. FIFA published a report on FIFA's own corruption? That's like if Chipotle released a study on E. coli.
It was just one time. But thankfully, some hardworking reporters out there spent the entire day combing through the massive document and found some really interesting bits.
First, if you're not familiar, all you need to know is that FIFA, the governing body of international soccer, awarded the 2022 World Cup to Qatar, a country with no soccer history and a brutal human rights record. When that happened, the entire sporting world was like, wait, what?
FIFA also awarded the 2018 Cup to Russia, and you've got to assume there's corruption involved there because, you know, Russia.
Right. So this report that came out today, first of all, it was never supposed to see the light of day. The German newspaper Bild got their hands on it, and FIFA decided to make it public before Bild could fully analyze it.
Now, to no one's surprise, FIFA actually finds no specific wrongdoing by either bid country.
What?
Although that might be because the Russian bid committee destroyed all of their computers.
Seriously, Russia? That looks guiltier than a soccer player claiming he didn't just commit a foul in the penalty box.
Let's not forget that Russia was caught running a massive doping scheme for its athletes during the Sochi Olympics, and a recent report said that Russia's entire 2014 World Cup squad is being investigated for using performance enhancers.
The one place where there's legitimate signs of corruption in the report is in a section on Qatar's youth academy, which appears to exist as a way of funneling money to FIFA voting members.
The academy is, there it is. The academy is also used as a means of finding players from around the world, mostly Africa, who then suddenly become Qatari citizens and members of the national team.
Yeah, see, kids, if you work hard and excel at youth soccer, you could get some orange slices, a participation trophy, and citizenship to a country with 25,000 barrels of oil.
Yeah, sounds like a good deal. Who gets the World Cup is really important. The cost associated with running a World Cup played a huge role in Brazil and South Africa's economic struggles.
Plus, the workers who have flocked to Qatar to build stadiums have essentially become slaves. They go hungry, live in squalor, and have their passports taken away from them so they can't go home.
One estimate claims that as many as 4,000 of them will die building the arenas by the time 2022 comes around.
The United States finished second in that vote, and you have to imagine what we would not have needed 4,000 slaves.
Though, to be fair, we probably would have had to deal with about 4,000 of those bros who wear soccer scarves indoors and only refer to the sport as football.
So, like, real soccer fans? Because that's, yeah.
Well, America, we call it soccer.
Nah, well, that's TLDR.
And moving on, 3 Chicago police officers have been charged with conspiracy to obstruct justice for allegedly lying in order to protect their colleague who shot and killed Laquan McDonald in 2014.
The incident alleges that the officers lied in their reports of the incident, leading to the shooting being ruled justified at first.
For a while, Laquan McDonald's name was just another on a long list of people of color killed under questionable circumstances. It seemed like that's where things would just remain.
Yeah, then the video came out. The footage shows McDonald walking away from the officers. He's holding a knife, but he's too far away to pose any real threat. Then, suddenly, he falls to the ground. Officer Jason Van Dyke shoots him 16 times.
The video showed that Van Dyke was not in any danger when he pulled the trigger, and he's been charged with murder in a case that's still ongoing.
The footage also showed that the other officers had lied about what happened. The indictment says they turned in 3 virtually identical reports filled with false information. They said McDonald had assaulted them and slashed at them with a knife. They said he tried to get off the ground after being shot. None of this is true.
It can be hard to find encouragement when it comes to stories like this, but today's announcement is at least a sign that all of the attention we give them can lead to actual consequences.
Yeah, and we're not going to go so far as to say that this is what it looks like when the system is working, but because of this case, the federal government conducted a deep investigation into the culture of abuse inside the Chicago Police Department. The police superintendent lost his job, and now 4 officers may go to prison.
It's because of the Black Lives Matter movement that any positive progress was made. That video only ever saw the light of day because of activists.
Yeah, the family of Philando Castile did not get justice. The family of Laquan McDonald still might not. One day, though, the tables will turn, but only with continued pressure from all of us.
Yeah, well said. And finally, let's wrap up with a video of Donald Trump doing what Donald Trump does.
Golf? Or?
No. That would be nice. Harassing women.
Oh, okay. The Donald was on a phone call with the newly elected Prime Minister of Ireland when he stopped to exchange some words with a female Irish journalist. Take a look for yourself.
Well, we have a lot of your Irish press watching us. They're just now leaving the room. And where are you from? Go ahead. Come here. Where are you from? Should we have all of this beautiful Irish press? Where are you from?
I'm from RTE News.
Katrina Perry. Katrina Perry. She has a nice smile on her face, so I bet she treats you well.
And you know that the Prime Minister of Ireland is both gay and Indian, so that was probably a tough moment for Donald. Like,
weird.
Who do I insult first? This guy or the woman?
Yeah, he probably didn't even realize he was being insulting to her. You know what I mean? Like, he probably justified it. And by the way, Jacques, I don't know if I've ever told you this, but you should really smile more. I love your smile. It makes you better at your job. Yeah. And that's it for The Cycle today. Thanks for watching.
Like and follow us at The Cycle Live. Thanks for watching. Make sure to follow us at The Cycle Live on Twitter and Instagram.
And like, share, subscribe to us on YouTube and Facebook, all that good stuff at The Cycle Live.